بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah and may the best of peace and blessings be on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. غزوة بدر الكبرى. Today inshallah ta'ala is the time to talk about the battle of Badr, the great. We talk about the minor battle of Badr. Actually it was not a battle, but it was a ghazwa because Muslims met, or I mean there was an expedition there. But the Badr, which is the first major battle between Muslims, the newly emerging Muslim community in Medina, and their enemies, mainly from Quraysh, the old place where they came from, which is Mecca. That was the first major battle where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala differentiated between haqq wa batil, the truth and the falsehood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even called this day in the Quran Yawm al-Furqan, the day of distinction, the day of criterion, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them distinct and draw a line between this camp and this camp. The reason behind it, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as we said, started sending expeditions. Some of them were led by himself Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. One of these, that he tried to chase one of the caravans of Quraysh in their way to Syria, but they actually escaped. So he sent some people to stay on the route farther from Medina north, on the route of these caravans on their way back, the same caravan. When they came to know about that they are approaching, this caravan was led by Abu Sufyan. These two men sent by the Prophet ﷺ came to Medina and told him they are now on their way back. So Nabi ﷺ took his way. He did not go straight to Badr. He was planning to go to Badr to wait for them there. Badr used to be an oasis, or a place of some trees and some water for the people in the middle of the desert, where all caravans usually stop by for maybe a few hours, couple of days to get rest. So everybody should pass by them anyway. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was planning to go there with Muslims. He came out, his target is caravan of these people, who were Abu Sufyan, along with just 40 people with him. 40 people, and they had almost 1,000 camels, and it has a lot of money, a lot of business for Quraysh, close to 50,000 dinar, 50,000 golden dinar. That's a big fortune. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not take much of, he was not going for war. That was a little expedition or something, 40 people. But Abu Sufyan was actually asking everybody who is passing by him in the other way, did you see anything? Did you hear any news about the people in Medina, the Muslims and so on? He was so cautious. And then he came to know about that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam left Medina and his target is Badr. So he decided to change his route. Instead of passing by the regular way through Badr, he changed it into a different way, and at the same time he sent two people to Quraysh. He hired two people and he sent them, go as fast as possible and tell our tribe that we are targeted. Let them get us a backup or try to come and help us. Quraysh started mobilizing all the Meccans and all the Quraysh tribe, all the clans, and even some of the other tribes, and they had close to 1,300 people. Close to 1,300 people went out, almost all Quraysh with the exception of Banu Adi. They came out. Abu Jahl was one of the leaders then, but later on their way, when they were in Al-Jahfa, a place between between Mecca and Badr, Abu Sufyan sent another messenger to them to say that we are safe now, we escaped and we are good. You should, you can go back. We don't need any help anymore. So some people started thinking about it. They started thinking to go back. There is no need to proceed forward, since we were coming to aid our tribe, our caravan, and now they are safe. But Abu Jahl insisted, and he said, no, we have to go there and we have to stay camp in Badr for a few days, and we drink the wine and we dance even there, and we just get this Muhammad and his people. So tasma' bin al-Arab, so all Arabs would get to know about it, so they will, you know, always be afraid to even challenge us. One of them, Al-Akhnas ibn Shurayh al-Saqafi, he told him, yani, let's be wise. This is a war that we don't want to get into. It's a war, it's going to be a fight and some people will be lost. He actually decided to take his people, Banu Zuhra, and go back, which was around 300 people. So the non-Muslims were left with almost, how much? How many people? 1,000, yes, mashallah. 1,000 people, close to 1,000 people were there, convinced with what Abu Jahl said, and said, we go and we fight. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at this point came to know that Quraysh came and they are planning for war, and actually they are coming in full equipment. They are coming out for war. Muslims were not coming out for war. They were coming out for a little expedition or something. They were not expecting big war. So at this point in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he did not reach Badr yet in his way. He came to know it's going to be a war, and Quraysh came with a big army. He discussed it with the people. Ashiru alayya ya nas, what should I do? What do you think, people? تكلم أبو بكر رضي الله عنه فأحسن الكلام. Best friend of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. He's from Muhajirun, immigrants. He spoke and he talked very well. Ya Rasulullah, support you, and all of these. Umar talked, and he talked very well. Then Al-Miqdad, all of these are from the immigrants. Al-Miqdad said, for example, والله يا رسول الله لا نقول لك كما قالت بنو إسرائيل لموسى اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنها هنا قاعدون ولكن نقاتل عن يمينك وعن يسارك ومن بين يديك ومن خلفك فأشرق وجه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وسر بذلك. Al-Miqdad said, by Allah, O Messenger of Allah, we do not say to you like the children of Israel, the people of Israel said to the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, go, you and your Lord fight, we are sitting here, but we will tell you that go, we are with you, fighting at your right, at your left, in front of you, behind you, will be all around you, supporting you, Ya Rasulullah. Then the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is still asking, what do you think, people? Then at this point, Al-Ansar came to know the people of Medina, they came to know he's probably talking about them. فَتَكَلَّمَ زَعِيمُهُمْ وَرَئِيسُهُمْ سَعْدٌ ibn Mu'adh, the leader of the Ansar, the residents of Medina. Because the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is sure about his people who left their houses, homes, and money and property and everything. These people are 100% ready to take such a big test. But those are like, they promised us. Yes, they promised the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to give him support, but they give a lot of things. They give a shelter and everything, but he was, are you ready for war? When few people from Muhajirun talked very well, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is still soliciting and asking the views and what do you think, and so Sa'd ibn Mu'adh stood up and he said, كأنك تعرض بنا يا رسول الله. It looks like you want our view يا رسول الله. Well, فوالذي بعثك بالحق لو استعرضت بنا هذا البحر فخضته لخضناه معك ما تخلف منا رجل واحد. شوف الكلام، والله الكلام عجيب والله. لو استعرضت بنا هذا البحر فخضته لخضناه معك ما تخلف منا رجل واحد وما نكره أن تلقى بنا عدونا غدا إنا لصبر في الحرب صدق في اللقاء ولعل الله أن يريك منا ما تقر به عينه فسر على بركة الله فسر بنا على بركة الله. وقال فيما قال والذي بعثك بالحق لو ضربت أكباد الإبل إلى برك الغماد لاتبعناه. فسر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ثم قال سيروا وأبشروا فإن الله تعالى قد وعدني إحدى الطائفتين والله لكأني أنظر الآن إلى مصارع القوم يعني مكان مصرعهم ومقتلهم. Very beautiful words to translate. Sa'd stood up and he said, by Allah, by the one who sent you with truth, if you take us all to the sea, and you take us all to the sea, we will go with you to the ocean, to the sea. Not a single person will be left behind. Not even one man will be left behind. And we never hate to encounter our enemy tomorrow. You will find us patient when it comes to war. You will find us, having good intention and so on. And hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show you through us something good that you will like, Ya Rasulullah. go ahead ala barakatillah, by the blessing of Allah, just go ahead and lead us. And he also said, very beautiful words, mashallah. Hearing this, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam got extremely happy. His army, all his people are consensus. When you see that, that makes you happy. So, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave them the bushra, the glad tidings. He said, وَأَبْشِرُوا, get the glad tidings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised me either one of two things. And both of them are good. And by Allah, I am able to see the places where these people will be killed. I am able to see it now. I see it now that they will be killed, they will be defeated. Then, ثم تقدم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إلى بدر. He proceeded forward to Badr, Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, فوصلها في نفس الليلة. The same night, he reached Badr, and Quraysh reached Badr also. Sure, don't forget, Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم made this dars for us, a lesson for us. Let's consult, with everybody around us. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أحسنهم وأفضلهم وأفضل البشر وأفضل الخلق مهدي من عند الله. لا يحتاج لرأي أحد أصلا. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم is in no need for a view of any human being. He is in no need for views of even angels, because he is guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yet he is asking for shura and asking for them. It's not one time. He did it one time. He will do it again. Actually, this time, a man from his followers, Al-Hubab, he said, Ya Rasulullah, is it like a place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like camping here, this very specific place of Badr? Because Badr was, as we said, a small place, oasis that has just like three inlets. One from the north, one from the south, another one I think from the east or something. So he stayed somewhere, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the side of it. It was surrounded by mountains from all sides. He said, Ya Rasulullah, أَمَنْزِلٌ أَنْزَلَكَهُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ? Is that a place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala resided you in or told you to stay in? He said, no. It is just open. What do you think? He said, no, let's just go. Because Badr used to have a lot of qalib, a lot of wells, water wells. So he said, let's go to the last well, which is the closest to the enemy. So we have control of all the wells, and we have water to drink, and they will have nothing. That will give us an advantage. We have water, they do not have water. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam proceeded all the way to the last well, and they kind of, how do you call it, like closed or shut up all the other wells, with the exception of, some, maybe a couple of them or something to get water from. And they were in control of all of these sources of water, and they camped there. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted the view of Al-Hubab ibn al-Mundhir. Now, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam at this night, he started praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he started making, sincere tadarru' lillah azza wa jalla, sincere dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was going in the battlefield, trying to get an overview at the night, and he showed his people, he said, by Allah, here will die such and such. Here will die Abu Jahl. Here will die. He showed them مصارع القوم. هذا مصرع فلان. هذا مصرع فلان. Later on, the narrators who heard it from the Prophet ﷺ, they saw Abu Jahl killed here after the end of the battle. They saw the same people that the Nabi ﷺ named, they will be killed here. They found them in the same places. But يصلي إلى جذع شجرة, trunk of a tree. He was praying all night, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. المسلمون الله سبحانه وتعالى ألقى عليهم النعاس. إذ يغشيكم النعاس أمانة منه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them this kind of peaceful sleep, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them rest. And even at this night, Allah sent some rain. المسلمون إذ أنتم بالعدوة الدنيا وهم بالعدوة القصوى. They were towards the side that's called العدوة الدنيا, and the mushrikun, the camp of the mushrikun, were the other side. Rain came to the side of Muslims, and it was kind of, when it's sandy and dirt and stuff, it was a little rain that makes the land just solid for them. You don't have to spend much effort to walk on it. But the other side was lower, so it was all muddy and watery everywhere, so they had difficulty in there. Muslims had a very nice, peaceful, sleepy rest, as Allah described this in ayat Surah Al-Anfal, ayah number 11. إذ يغشيكم النعاس أمانة منه وينزل عليكم من السماء ماء ليطهركم به ويذهب عنكم رجز الشيطان وليربط على قلوبكم ويثبت به الأقدام. The next morning will be the 17th of Ramadan, year 2 after Hijrah. 17th of Ramadan, the second year after Hijrah. ترى الجمعان, the two groups got together, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam دعا. He started making dua and he praying all night long and making dua, and now before the beginning of the battle, he is getting his army and everything. First thing, he is talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praying to him. اللهم هذه قريش أقبلت بخيلائها وفخرها تحادك وتكذب رسولك اللهم فنصرك الذي وعدتني اللهم أحنهم الغداء يعني هزمهم الغداء. He said, oh Allah, this is Quraysh that came with all of its arrogance and pride, challenging you and denying and rejecting your prophet. Oh Allah, give me your victory that you promised me. Oh Allah, defeat them this morning. He started عدل الصفوف, he started putting people in lines and supervising this himself as the leader. وأمرهم ألا يبدأوا بالقتال. He gave them the order, do not start, fighting. Just wait. But if they come close to you, if they start and they coming close to you, march forward towards you, فيعني استبقوا نبلكم. Just stop them by shooting some arrows at them until I give you the order to start. At this, and the meanwhile, the Muslims, they built Arish, some kind of a little humble place for the Prophet ﷺ in the back. He went there along with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and started making dua again. He put the people, give them the orders, do not fight until I give you the order to fight. And he came back, and he was so extremely, humbling himself to Allah. اللهم إن تهلك هذه العصابة يعني مجموعة من الناس اليوم لا تعبد أبدا اللهم إن شئت لم تعبد بعد اليوم أبدا. He was making dua and raising his hand, oh Allah, if this group of people will be defeated today, you probably will not be worshipped on earth after that. Oh Allah, and he started making dua so much so that his cloak, his abaya, it fell off his shoulders. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was, can you please leave the phone now, please? Yeah. Jazakallah. It came off and